I'm stating my opinion based on the information that I'm seeing.
You're assuming that if he cares about the youth, he must be a pedophile. But he's been investing in these people and their education. He's been investing in the research.
No, there is no theory whatsoever that points to your theory, Randy. This is something you have made up in order to.
Have you heard of innocent until proven guilty?
And it's really cringe that you make this.
Have you heard of innocent until proven guilty? Have you ever heard
I don't care, but the theory you're coming with, that's ridiculous.
It's not a theory.
It's not a theory.
You're anti-Semitic and
You're coming with the theory.
But it's really cringe because if you were telling about something else, that would be cool. But it's not pedophile. And
But also
you're defending pedophilia.
Rabbi, you keep saying you keep saying innocent and proven guilty. This is a legal standard. We are in the court of public opinion right now, weighing the evidence that we've seen. So just because
we're saying it's
okay, that's your public opinion. My public opinion is
you have your right to your opinion.
You have the right to your opinion, of course. But
do you realize, Evan, with the slippery slope, then we would have to get Lex Wexner, and then everybody would go down. The whole financial system would collapse.
You guys are behaving exactly like the people who are saying that the ADL
we're not conservative.
We would have to immediately attack Israel for harboring terrorists and pedophiles and stuff.
They're saying that the
ADL
is a pedophile. Okay, so you're the same type of people. You just see a Jew and now you want to turn him into some sort of...
You're right. I'm the most anti-Semitic person on this app.
I'm so sorry about that.
And I don't understand why you can't just be straightforward with it. It's not illegal yet. So just be honest about it.
What? Honest about
Jew.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You're right. I know the trolling.
Why are they singling out Epstein?
I don't think Kevin's being anti-Semitic, but
the only reason it's because he's a Jew. Look at Ghislaine, whatever her name is. She's accused of doing these things because her father is in the Mossad. All these things, it's all pointing to the same thing. That is all because he's a Jew. Now we're gonna accuse him of certain shit.
Yeah, you're turning things around because you love the idea of defending pedophiles. This is actually very stinky. Like it's very tough.
Well, that's a little bit. That's a little anti-Arab to call him stinky.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Okay,
I wouldn't be anti-Arab. That would be literally.
Fine,
would be Arab.
Videos, dude. Let's send me the pictures and the video.
Why do you need to defend a pedophile?
Because you are yet to show how he is.
I think you should convert him into Islam because they also worship a pedophile. That would suit you well.
Oh, okay, but you are yet to prove that. So just like
that Mohammed was a pedophile.
There's more evidence that Mohammed was a pedophile than there is about Epstein.
That's not true.
Yes, that is true.
Yes, there is. That's 100% true. It's 100% true.
Yeah, you're another one that just because you think it's funny, you're defending pedophiles.
That's not funny. It's true.
Oh my God.
If Muhammad was a pedophile, what do you call Abraham? And what he did to his son?
He didn't fuck his son, dude.
He just cut his dick off.
Okay, but I get hearsay. All that stuff is hearsay. Can you prove that Epstein actually was doing what you are claiming?
Yes, there are many testimonies.
Okay, prove it to me, and I will succumb right now. I will apologize publicly.
But you can do it as well. Do you think that I hold an archive in my house that I have here ready for you to ask me, and so I can send you all the files that I got under my bed? You're an idiot.
Wait a minute. He pleaded guilty.
When?
He pled in June of 2008. He pled guilty to charges of one count of solicitation of prostitution and one count of solicitation of prostitution and one count of solicitation of prostitution with a minor under the age of 18. He was sentenced to 18.
Yeah, but that's different. So he was engaged in prostitution. We know that.
With a minor under the age of 18.
Exactly. That makes him a pedophile.
But do you expect him to have the idea of every single person?
Makes him a hedophile.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, actually, that actually isn't relevant. That actually doesn't matter.
No, but okay, I get it. It doesn't matter in the sense that yes.
But also, he was like bruising the high schools for girls. So like, if you're looking to pick up, if you're picking up a high school girl, there's like a 75% chance she's under 18. So you probably just shouldn't be doing that.
He was unfortunately engaged in prostitution and things of the sort. Now there's a lot of demand for the younger girls who are like 18, 19, whatever. Some girls who are like 16, 17 look like they're, and you can't expect the guy to actually look into everyone's ID, right? But is the guy a pet?
Why am I engaging with the trolling? Why am I engaging
I
with
don't
the
know,
trolling?
but it's just so.
I don't know.
You can call it trolling, but
Call it a troll.
It's making an argument.
It doesn't mean you can
No,
call it.
the argument is stupid because he had one main girl that he used to get other girls, and she kept. He knew that they were high schoolers.
Exactly. Oh, whoa.
He knew that they were high schoolers.
Said it. Oh, she is the one who got the girls.
Yeah, under his direction, he paid her.
But
to bring.
But she's the
You
one.
guys continue.
She's the one who's supposed to be.
I'm done.
Excusing pedophilia.
You can't blame him for what she did. If she got him a minor, doesn't mean that he is responsible.
Perversion? You don't believe that she was made to do this?
No, I believe that there is no proof that he himself is a pedophile. I see only anti-Semitic attacks on him.
Yeah, basically, if we were to use the same logic, then Dave Portnoy should be canceled because the employees that he pays to do a certain task did something horribly wrong. So because Epstein paid this woman to do a task that she didn't vet properly, we're going to just attribute him to as a pedophile. This is ridiculous.
But she's the one who got them. She's the one who's supposed to go out there and get him. Should check.
You know what you've got me thinking?
We're not denying he was engaged in prostitution. We're not denying that.
You know what you've got me thinking though, Lou? That Dave Portnoy probably did this whole fuck the Jews thing on himself. It's probably Big Floyd. Think about it.
The thought crossed my mind,
that's
but I
the
don't
same
think
thing.
so. I don't think it is. But the thought crossed my mind.
You've never seen the videos of the rabbis painting the swastikas and stuff, or the kids in college putting it on their doors?
No. And if they
You
did
know
that was like propaganda. Anyone could dress up like that or like whatever, you know?
Dude, did you see the guy that I posted in the chat that in his profile it says that he was born in the gas chamber? As a last act of rebellion, his mother gave birth in the gas chamber, and he miraculously survived. Holy shit, man! He said he was born in Auschwitz.
I saw that somewhere. Is that where
Yeah,
I saw
but what's so wild about that? I mean, that's happened to many. A lot of women made babies in the concentration.
Yeah, but as they were being gassed, he has the last act of rebellion. She burst out.
Maybe it's 70% one day.
You are some sick fucks. Nobody knows how to waste time like you sick fucks.
Well, you're the ones wasting your time like this.
I just got back from the gym and just had lunch. You guys have been going for hours, you sick fucks.
Well, again, you can't prove what you guys claim and what you can prove are two totally different things.
I can confirm and speculate that you guys are all wasting your time.
Have you seen this one?
What do you mean confirm and speculate?
I can confirm that you are only speculating about the situation. That's only.
Lou, look at this. This one is a person that claims that they were raised by wolves when they escaped at Auschwitz. They survived by sucking on the teat of a mother wolf.
Oh god.
You can't make this up, dude.
Yes, you can. That's how Rome was birthed, you fucking moron.
Why can't you guys just be more honest, dude? Like, why can't you just say, yes, I want to go? See, Lou, these are the same people who say the ADL was started because they're trying to protect the pedophile. Like, these are the same people, dude. They just want to find the Jew to smear. That's all it is.
That's true.
And why not? Like, look, as of today, you can hate Jews legally. It's fun. Just be upfront about it.
I mean, actually, technically, in 25 states of the United States, you can get in trouble for saying.
Okay, but you understand why, though? You understand why? Because look at what people are doing. I mean, again, you're already determined that the guy is something, even when there's zero proof.
Yeah, that's prejudicial. I'll give you that.
That just shows you why there's a lot of anti-Semitism laws, because if there's no laws like that, then people will
Oh my God.
anything.
Yeah, people could just say whatever the hell they want.
Correct. Like these idiots saying Epstein was a pedophile. Can you prove it? No, they can't, but they insist on it.
And that's really dangerous.
It is.
Because well, let's kind of go through the logic of how it would create danger for the Jews.
Because then you're gonna go ahead and accuse. So now Epstein, tomorrow who? Are you gonna accuse every Jew of being a pedophile?
Let's start with everyone on the list of the plane.
Oh my god. My god.
Again, that's irrelevant.
What's wrong with being on a plane?
Heads of state, Supreme Court justices, famous actors.
So wouldn't you say, hold on, no, right? Wouldn't you say, if that is the case, they're going to say this guy is a pedophile, and you think the evidence exists, do you realize what that means? That means that there's literally no prosecution for anyone except this guy. Do you realize that?
No, do you realize that it doesn't matter if people associate with him? Why? So when people say, like Kevin here, he was saying, oh, Trump was on the airplane. Okay, but why is that a bad thing? Oh, because you're assuming Epstein was a pedophile. But can you prove it, though?
You just repeat the same thing over and over.
Okay, so if you can't prove it, why is it bad to associate with him?
No, we're repeating the same thing because you guys keep making the same claims.
I haven't engaged.
Baseless.
I haven't engaged.
I was saying you guys, not you specifically.
So, Randy, did Epstein kill himself?
I think he might have been killed for being a Jew.
No, I think they killed him. I think
Yeah, because he's a Jew.
No, they killed him before he could defend himself.
That's right.
If he went to court, then all this would show that that's not the case. They had to let go of him for whatever reason, but I think he got killed. However, I mean, I might also kill myself if I'm going to be falsely accused of being something that I'm not, and not even be given a chance to defend myself.
I don't see why you reasonable. No, I don't think that's reasonable. Why would that be reasonable?
No, of course not. It's just
why not defend yourself? Why not defend yourself?
Because then that's what Nura did. You guys went at it at her and called her or whatever. You defended yourself.
What are you talking about?
When she got attacked by Jews in New York.
I don't get it.
You never did.
There's nothing wrong with defending yourself.
That's what I said. Unless you're Palestinian, then it's wrong.
So then why would you kill yourself for being accused of something you didn't do? My God.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I can clarify that.
Oh, thank God you're on
You
mute.
would kill yourself. You would kill yourself because keep in mind, Epstein isn't being accused of being something. He's already judged. And Kevin keeps saying that people need a trial before they get deported, whether they be citizens or not. They need the due process, and they need a trial prior to deportation. However, when it comes to the Jew, he wants to accuse him without even a trial. There was no trial for Epstein. Of course, if he goes to court, he'll be able to prove his innocence. So let's kill him before he gets there, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. I love how Kevin couldn't help himself.
Engaging with the troll.
But it is a troll, but it's like it's literally the same sort of shit that he uses to say why Trump is horrible. Oh, in the court cases, they got there's nothing there. Everything it's like yeah, okay.
Okay, so now that if we're gonna get real, why did they literally start the ADL to defend the pedophile, but they're not really defending Epstein? I don't get it.
That's a good question, actually.
Why aren't they defending Epstein, dude? Like,
I think you're making an
Some
assumption.
people are disposable.
Look, okay, if we assume he's dead, that's a good question. Why didn't they defend him? I'm not convinced he's dead.
No, it doesn't matter because they literally did the whole. Like till today, they mourn this pedophile that got killed. And they did also.
Right, but wouldn't you say that if he is, well, he obviously was fucking well connected. But I would say that they did a very good job defending him. Actually, if he's not actually dead, it's an amazing thing. If you want to fake your death, I mean, it's a brilliant strat. What is the best way to be able to get away with?
Don't you fucking losers have anything better to do than to make up shit like the guy's fucking still alive? Get a fucking life, man.
Have people like fighting over whether or not you were murdered or committed suicide, like that. If that is the most optimal landscape, if you wanted to fake your death, it's like it's not even a question.
He didn't fake his death, you fucking loser. He's dead. You're a schmuck. You're stupid. I'm here to remind you how stupid you are.
My God.
You guys are wasting your fucking lives. I'm gonna go sit in the sun and have another cerveza.
Okay.
I just don't get it. Like, why are they not defending him? I would expect them to make the same arguments that I'm making, and they're not, which is so weird because they do it with every other thing. No, it's actually beyond.
Because they're protecting people bigger than him.
That's right. See, she gets it.
I'm sorry.
It's the Hannibal directive.
Yeah, Habibi, there's not many people who are bigger than him. There's not many people who are bigger than Epstein. Epstein is a billionaire.
How did he actually get his money?
Probably the money. Most of his money.
He had to be working for the agencies.
Well, we know he's engaged with the Mossad. We know that.
There you go. Then you got your answer. Who they're protecting.
Is that confirmed?
Of course, it's confirmed.
Yeah.
It was her father, dude. Come on.
Her father. Yeah.
Epstein was literally doing a blackmail operation on behalf of the Israeli government. If you ever see the world leaders be so irrationally super irrationally pro-Israel, so they would even go against their own arguments. Like, remember South Africa and how apartheid was super horrible? The same exact individual who's claiming apartheid is horrible is now saying it's okay. The same person simultaneously, because there is the war with Ukraine and Russia, the same people saying Russia is a terrorist terrorist state because they are cutting off electricity for Ukraine. These are the same people who are okay with Israel cutting electricity, food, and fuel and all of There's a reason why. Because
isn't it beautiful? Like it's so clear.
So Epstein was one of the many people who are gathering blackmail on people of influence and power, so that the Israeli government can use it against them, so that then they can do whatever they at once. Very clear. It's as clear as daylight.
I guess the question: why did he actually end up getting? How and why were they able to go after him?
Well, I mean, because things can sometimes get too big. I think, obviously, it's Israel that killed him. I do believe that. Because then he's going to expose their influence, and you don't want that to be. It's okay for
Then
people.
you answered your question.
It's okay.
Why they wasn't protected.
It's okay for people to believe him, but it's not okay for there to be the link between Israel and Epstein. And as a result, they had to kill him. And that is probably why they don't want to defend him, because they don't want to be associated with him. They want to remove all links between them and him. But in reality, they not only enabled him, but they are the ones who got.
Yeah, but this dude is clear, like obviously a highly intelligent dude.
Yeah, yes.
So if he has this, complete loyalty to Israel. Is it possible maybe that he did kill himself to avoid that?
I don't think he had complete loyalty to Israel. He didn't kill himself. Obviously, he was killed. It's very obvious. I don't think he has blind loyalty to Israel. He is loyal to money, influence, power, being above the law, etc., which they gave him all of that. But you keep your mouth shut. Now, he knows a lot. This guy has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of connection. I mean, he was a connector, right? He has a lot. So you can't just let him go to court.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like he arguably is like this. You can never guarantee anything, especially someone's decisions and actions. But it's like, how would you? What would be the best way about having someone where, like, you literally have an asset, one person that is able to get like he has everything on everyone.
Yeah.
Do you prevent him from fucking snitching? Why?
Because
Why would he have any incentive not to have a kill switch?
Because
He has no kill switch.
he who giveth taketh away. It's that simple.
No, but like, how do you ensure that this person doesn't set up their own kill switch to protect themselves? I mean, look, you can obviously, you just lie to the person, but like if you're basically saying, hey, if you do get caught up and it gets like pretty serious,
No, you don't
we
get
will get you out. No, I'm saying like if it gets to the point where you actually do, for whatever reason, are like in prison, you're gonna go on trial, we will get you out. Do not snitch.
Yes, exactly. He was not, because he was clearly not afraid. He was above the law. He got caught before. He doesn't care. He's he's doing his thing. He is above the law. There's nothing you're gonna be able to do. You're not gonna do anything about it. That was his energy. If you listen to the
but that doesn't look. There's no reason to not have a kill switch. If you have information, there really is no reason.
I don't think you want to kill yourself. I don't think anyone wants to die. You want to survive. As long as you think that you can survive.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
what is kill switch?
A kill switch basically is something set in place that makes it so if you are killed for whatever reason, things will get released.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I don't think so. I think they had power on him, not the other way around. So they are the ones who make sure that he is going uncontested. So if you go against us, we take that privilege away from you. So you're a pedophile, or pederast actually. He's not a pedophile, he's a pederast. You get to do whatever you want to do. You get all the money, all the power, all the everything, all the connections, this and that. You get you live like a god on earth. All you have to do in return is these things. If you go against us, you lose all that we give you. It's really that simple. So, keep your head low and don't go against us. And if he didn't go against them, however, he would, because he wouldn't want to die, right? So I'm pretty sure he would like to have reduced sentencing, whatever. So the guy cannot get to court. That guy should not get to court.
But Randy, the point I'm making is that, look, I don't think he killed himself either. I'm not convinced he's dead, but let's assume he is. He didn't kill himself. So
Obviously,
he didn't have a fucking cellmate, right?
Right.
So somehow they were able to, whoever it was, got in. Like if you can get into that facility, doesn't matter how you do it, you're able to get into that cell, get out without anyone seeing. There's literally no reason why you wouldn't be able to fake his death. It's literally like you're walking into a fucking prison, you're cutting the cameras, everything. You're going into a closed room, killing a guy. There's no reason why. Like if you can do all of that and get away with it, the difficulty to fake the death would literally just, you need the coroner and all that shit.
No one came in and killed him.
What do you mean?
It's an inmate.
No, bro, dude, come on. You think no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think basically it's just the guards. Everyone was paid off, and it's just the guards.
No, I don't think it's that simple. I think that.
Well, then how the fuck did the inmate get into a lock? How did the inmate get out of a cell and then get into a locked cell?
You can hack the cameras to shut them down and to make them freeze and whatever. But the inmate was already, because he was in. The inmates could get to him. So there's one guard that you need to pay off, or you don't even need to pay off a guard.
No, dude, he was in his own. Dude, he was in a locked cell. He had no cellmate.
Okay, but are you telling me that could be the case, or it could be that he was able to go out? Doesn't he eat outside? I mean, I don't know how it goes. I don't know whether or not he was in that cell.
The timing of when the cameras went down and all that shit. There was I forget what they call it when the general population are allowed to. If it wasn't during those hours, everyone was locked in their cell. There were nobody was allowed out of their cell at that point in time, and so the cameras obviously got hacked, cut off, whatever you want to call it. But someone had to open his cell door. Or you could say it could be an inmate. I'm not saying that's crazy.
It is an inmate. That's for sure. Maybe someone opened it up, maybe one of the guards or whatever. That could be the case. I just don't see it as being likely.
Well, it has to be someone with the fucking key.
But you want as few people as possible involved in all of it.
Right, but you don't need any more additional people. I don't see why you would need any additional people to actually make sure that it's someone going in and taking him out versus an inmate. I think an inmate, if anything, why would you want an inmate? An inmate could, unless you kill the inmate, I guess. You would have to do that.
Maybe there's infinite possibilities, man. I don't know why it's so complicated. We don't know. There's infinite possibilities, and there's a million ways this could have happened. It could have included only the inmate. It could have included an inmate and one security guard, or it could have been. But if it's a security guard that's involved, then there's no need for a security guard. So it is either only an inmate or only a security guard. It's one person. One person alone can do this thing. The cameras aren't shut down manually or whatever. That's easily.
If it's an inmate, it requires an additional person. By default.
If the guy is only in his cell and it's locked.
But that was the case.
If that's the case, then it's not an inmate. Fine. It's just it could be.
No, that was the case. I didn't even know that I assumed he had a cellmate. Then
these are the options. Either it's a security guy, or it's an inmate, or it's an inmate and a security guy. These are the only options.
Well, the second option is not an option. It can't just be an inmate.
So it's two options. Fine, I'll take that. So it's inmate and the security, or just the security, which I would then suppose is just the security. Because you would like fewer people, right? It's just one guy that you have to buy up. That's it. I mean, the security guy could have done it. I don't see why that's not a possibility. For the cameras.
Because I think it's a cleaner or a less dirty trail because dude, if the inmate's doing it, the security guard rather, that guy now has knowledge. That guy is now a risk.
Maybe they killed him. Maybe they killed him. Maybe
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a much cleaner cut to pay someone to not be doing what they're doing. They don't have to know what's going. They're being paid to just not be where they're supposed to be. Period.
What if it's another inmate that's been because that's why I think inmates are better, because no one believes an inmate. At the same time, the inmate isn't really heard. So what if it's an inmate that we move somewhere else now? Actually, there was a lot. I remember. I forgot the details, but it's a while back. There's a lot of details regarding the inmates and how they actually had access to them, and how some inmates actually they can even know which one it is. There's a selection of them. One of them didn't, because they got moved, for example, to a different facility that is much lighter.
I know. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. So it could be a deal like that, or it could be a million things. Or hey, your children, you are gonna be in prison till the day you die, so no one will hear from you anyways. However, your family is out of prison. It would be a shame if we do something.
No, let's save us.
So then you keep your mouth shut,
and then in that case, you keep your mouth shut, and you stay in that prison, and you get a better life, and we leave your kids alone.
You know what's interesting is that one of his cellmates, like early on, talked about how exactly what it was, but he basically was saying that Epstein, like, that something was going on, that he, like, Epstein was fearing for his life, some shit like that, where it would be, you might want to, I guess, look into it after the fact. This inmate guy that was like not testifying, it was just he was interviewed and claimed it. Ended up he got released, and he ended up dying very shortly after giving this interview from COVID. He died from COVID.
Yeah, whatever it is. I mean, there's a million options. That's what I'm telling you. There's a million ways this could have happened, but we do know that it happened, though, because if you first things first, Epstein's brother believes that he was murdered. He did a big deal about it, and no one really seems to talk about that. But he made a big deal of it, and he's saying that the forensic guy, whatever, the one who made the release saying that he killed himself is not the same person as the one who actually did the whole autopsy, and the one who did the autopsy is saying otherwise. You know the shtick. I mean, it gets much deeper, but it's like there's all evidence shows that no, he didn't really kill himself. So we know he got killed. The question is who did it and how. The cameras are so easy to figure out, really. Anyways, the cameras alone show you that he got killed, right? I mean, from the get-go, you already know, without any forensics. What are the odds? You're gonna have to see this.
Well, yeah. They don't inherently show that, but it's like highly suspicious. It's they were facts.
Like you're talking 99.99%.
Yeah, and then you find out with the guards being asleep, and they're supposed to be doing like wellness checks and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very clear he killed himself, or that he didn't kill himself.
Exactly.
You would think like it's okay in any other circumstance, there's basically little to no reason to think like you wouldn't even do an investigation. It's like okay, a dude was locked in a cell alone by himself, and now he's dead. It's like okay, well then he killed himself. It's like to do all this like investigation and be like, oh well, the cameras. But it's like, well, it's very obvious that he didn't kill himself.
Even if he killed himself, which he didn't, you're still not letting go of the possibility that he was coerced into doing it. I'm pretty sure.
Gym?
Who, me?
No, is someone at the gym?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is there background noise?
They don't teach her how to mute the fuck up.
I have voice isolation on. Be quiet.
Well, you sound like I can hear you clearly, Randy, but like you sound like more muffled than you did like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so it's Ms. mic, not mine.
Well, no, your mic is it's fine.
I have voice isolation anyways, but I'm outside. I have my earphones, that's why. Yeah, regardless, but even if he kills himself, which he didn't, what if they forced him into doing it? Like, so that's another thing. So anyways, the fact that no one's asking questions.
I didn't know he had a brother.
But he did have a brother. I'm telling you, man. Check what his brother said. I think it's even on YouTube, unless they took it down. His brother is a very interesting story, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, they're not allowing the brother even to have info that he's requiring. Some things that he's saying that it's super weird, and it's like the way they're treating him is super weird when it comes to knowing what happened to his brother. I mean, his brother obviously knew, though, right? I mean,
Tucker Carlson interviewed his brother. It looks like.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, we should listen to that. I didn't know about that. I definitely want to listen to it, but I think it's very obvious that his brother knows everything before. His brother is an accomplice, if anything, but you know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go after him, but it's very clear. I'll argue.
Your brother's a billionaire. You're gonna probably have somewhat of an idea of how he's making his money and what's going on.
Yeah, but most of his money wasn't clean to begin with. Like he had clean money. It's not like all his money is clean. No, he had clean money, but he also had dirty money. Which university did he go to? He didn't go to university, did he? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was investing in.
I don't know. There's a very famous. He comes from money. There's a very famous school or like summer camp. I don't know the fucking name. I'd never heard of it until the Epstein thing, but yeah, it's some like famous summer camp where like all of like the very elite, their children go. I don't know if it's like a primarily Jewish thing, but he was at that summer camp. There's photos of him there when he's like 14 or 15, so he's definitely educated. I don't know what university.
No, he's not. He's not. I don't remember he is. I think he isn't. He never had he never finished.
Let's see.
Unless I'm wrong, but like, from what I've seen.
Well, I mean, that's like he's not fucking educated. You know what I mean by educated. Okay, Epstein. The Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences.
Sorry? What is that? Is where?
It says from 1971 to 1974, the Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences.
He went to that institute, or he's the one who runs it or owns it?
Let me verify, but it's, I believe they're saying that he went there.
He went and he graduated from there.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I
don't know. I remember that he dropped out or something. I mean, it's been a long while since I looked into it.
Yeah. No, he was a dropout. You're right.
Yeah, he did drop out, right? Oh, of course. Why would he study? Why would he do that? I wouldn't study. What a scam.
I mean, I think, like, if you're, like, well, I mean, if you're in STEM, STEM is very different, but, like, if you're
he's not in STEM. He's not in STEM. He's just investing in STEM, but he's not, like, he didn't study that stuff. I don't know where he developed that interest or how so. Wait, repeat it again. Which institute did you go to?
Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences in
Mathematical Sciences. Okay, so he already had that interest. Okay, like kind of math, numeric stuff.
Wait, hold on. Is that NYU?
I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that personally. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, it is NYU. Wow. Boy, I mean, I'm surprised. Yeah, that's NYU's Ivy League, right?
No.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Not Nick Shack.
Could be, could not be.
Anyways, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, well, there's no proof he did anything.
Exactly. There's no proof.
So right now it just sounds anti-Semitic.
So far, it is anti-Semitic. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, it must be like, oh my god! Imagine being a liberal. Like and they're not even trolling.
Oh wait, what are you
so
talking about?
easy, dude.
Nah,
It's so
nah,
easy.
Dude, when it comes to this whole Israel question, I don't think that Israel is the retarded one. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah. Well, obviously it's the fucking right.
Yeah,
But I'm saying in general, like just the way that you're just allowed to frame things when it's like considered taboo to be opposed to it in society, like in society today, it's like taboo.
Yeah, but no, I don't think that's the left thing. I don't think that's the leftist thing. I think they do it more, but that doesn't mean like when it comes to that whole Israel-Jewish stuff.
What are you saying? It's a Jewish thing?
What?
When it comes to that, it's not the left, it's the right that's super hypnotized.
No, but I'm saying what I'm trying to say is like, for example, like we were trolling, but it's like when you put when you're allowed to just put something in a way where it's like to go against it is considered, oh my god. It's like it's so easy to be able to paint a picture of how like, oh, this is like it's you prove me wrong. Like I don't know.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like all of the progressive bullshit, and it's like, dude, it's very easy.
No, it's not progressive. Again,
maybe it's different.
I refuse that thing is progressive because it's not. The Republicans do the same exact thing. In fact, for example, the Republicans believe Trump's tariffs were reciprocal. The tariffs are not reciprocal. The math is very clear. Math doesn't lie.
I'm not. When I say like, I'm talking about literally amongst the citizenry. Like,
yeah,
Yes,
I'm saying the same thing. So go to the Republican, tell him that Trump's reciprocal tariffs aren't reciprocal. That's such a taboo. No, of course they are. What do you mean? Okay, so the Republican is the one who claims to believe in free market, and he doesn't want communism. Yet he is now supporting the opposite of free markets. That's tariff. Like, you can't make it up. So, yeah, I mean, maybe you're not exposed to it in the sense that you don't really think about the hypocrisy on the right as much as you do on the left, because the left does it with social issues, the right does it in other issues. The left does it economically. The right doesn't do it socially, and maybe that's why it's less pronounced to the average person. But like they do it even more so economically. For example, deficits. Every time there's always a deficit. It's never a surplus. But whenever there's a Democrat president, the deficits are much lower. So then you have the Republican who believes, hey, we need to cut all the social spending because we don't have that money. Okay, but the Democrats, with their social spending, are having lower deficits than the Republicans without that so-called social spending. Because the Republicans,
what are they doing differently?
The Republicans spend a shit ton on military, like military spending increases that come with Republicans are much bigger than anything that the Democrats ever spent on.
Which must be like largely like fraud, because it's like. Right, like is the money is it really necessary to be going to the military?
So they're all fraudsters, man. They're all fraudsters. It's just like who benefits from the fraud? Who benefits from the fraud? That's the question. So like different people benefit from the Republican fraud and the people from the Democrat fraud. But I would argue that the Republican fraud is much bigger. You would see the average Republican telling you how Nancy Pelosi is so corrupt. Nancy Pelosi is an insider trader, right? But in reality, there's like 4 Republicans ahead of her in the Congress. And the first one is unmatched. It's more than double than the second one. But there's 4 that do this even more than she does, and they're all Republican. She is the top Democrat one, but she's not the top one. The top 4 are Republicans. Okay.
No, but what frame of that you must be referring to a certain a time frame, because by default she's been in there for so long now. Like her shit, like, yeah, she's made a lot, but
I know based on the stats. You can find these stats anyway. You can find them if you Google them. I don't know exactly the time frame, but I can just tell you that Republicans make more money through corruption by doing insider trading in the Congress and whatnot.
It's not even corruption. Like, it's legal. They're allowed to do it, which is weird.
It shouldn't be
the case. Right. It shouldn't be. I don't disagree. But
no, it is illegal. It is not legal. It is illegal, but you can't.
It's not insider trading. It's not technically insider trading.
Of course it is.
Oh no,
of course it is. Yes, it is, because I'm passing legislation.
But then they should not be allowed to trade at all. They should be completely barred from. Yeah.
Yes. Ideally, they shouldn't trade at all. But then what happens is, like, for example, Nancy Pelosi's husband makes the trade, not her.
Yeah.
Okay, so things like
there's an argument for that, which is kind of, I guess, there's really, they should be considered separate, but like,
so
they're really not.
If it's not her husband, it's her children. If it's not her children, it's her
If
parents. If it's not her parents, it's her brother. So how far are you gonna go? Regardless, the point still stands. Republicans complain about it, but they don't know that they do it more than the Democrats. So I'm trying to show you how they're hypnotized and highly hypocritical, but just not on the social issues, rather more on the economic issues.
Oh, dude, bro, I'm not like, you should know this. I'm not like, dude, I don't like Republicans. I don't see the difference in them, to be honest.
Right. So what's hot today is the tariffs. Go take a look at the tariffs. The math is very simple. It's actually in the paper that they released. Look, Nick, they're not even ashamed. Like, that's what I'm telling you. They don't even respect their own base, because they're telling you that it's reciprocal, yet they're then releasing a paper with a mathematical formula that is so simple, yet they think that you're too dumb to understand it. So it's basically imports minus it's the exports minus the imports, all of that divided by the imports, and then multiply the whole thing by 100. So it has nothing to do with the reciprocity. It simply has to do with the deficit. The larger the deficit, the more we're going to tax you. The lower the deficit, the less we're going to tax you. So, and that makes sense. The whole math is tailored towards minimizing the deficit and hopefully turning it into a surplus. We just do not want to have a trade deficit with other countries. That's all. But it has nothing to do with the reciprocity when it comes to them taxing you at all. So it's not reciprocal. Like, if you look at the math, basically what Trump is assuming is that the only way you can have a trade surplus with us, meaning you make more money than us when it comes to trade, the only way that can happen is if you're cheating. Therefore, we're gonna take that down to you either breaking even or you losing money. Because the only way you can be making money against us is that you're cheating. That's his philosophy, and it's so retarded.
But hold on, I mean, maybe that is his philosophy.
It is. Mathematically, it's proven. Yes, it is.
Okay, but when you say cheating, why couldn't it be the case that you're fucking us over, and we just look, he can say that by default we don't want to have a deficit, but like that doesn't necessarily mean.
Yes, it does. Because remember on the American Liberation Day, he had like a billboard and whatever, and on it were all the tariff rates, and he's saying basically they're taxing us 30%, we tax them 15. They're taxing us 60%, we tax them 30.
Yeah, but nigga, you understand that? Like, he knows his base is retarded.
No, but I'm trying to explain to you what's happening. So, like, if you look at the billboard thingy, the carton, whatever you call it, it would seem like whatever they are taxing us, we are putting half that tax. So it is reciprocal and it is gracious, because we are taxing you half as much as you are taxing us. At the same time, we are you know, the higher you tax, the higher we tax. Then if you look closer, what does it say under that tax whatever? It says this includes what? Currency manipulation, cheating, tariffs, blah, 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 blah. So it's super general. What counts as currency manipulation? By how much? You know, the Chinese do that, but who else? And by how much?
Yeah.
You don't have access to their central bank info. So by how much? How do you know that? Same goes for cheating. What is that? What is that? Like, it's super vague, and it's intentionally vague because it accommodates for everything. The only way you can make a surplus against us is because you are cheating. Hence, we're gonna tax you, and that is how we put it. So that is their tax. We're assuming that they are taxing us this much, and we're assuming that that is unfair. And now if you do the math, again, it's an Howard Lutnick's paper. You can come to see the billboard thingy. You can come to the same exact numbers that the U.S. taxes other countries. You can come to the same exact number. It's a very simple formula, and it has nothing to do with how much they tariff you. It has nothing to do with us. It simply has everything to do with the trade deficit.
All I'm suggesting is that him going into a negotiation with a country when ideally we basically, I don't see why we shouldn't have all the leverage. You know, they're obviously with China it's a little bit different, but it's like they need our consumer base. Yes, the prices are going to go up, etc. If we get into this trade war, I get that. Like we'll be hurt. We'll be hurting.
Can you go to ChatGPT? Are you on your computer?
No. Let me finish my thought though. What I'm saying is, regardless of whatever metric he wants to put up on the fucking board, so if you're going into a negotiation with the country, it doesn't really matter what you're saying. You consider cheating X, Y, or Z. If there's a specific outcome or agreement, however you want to call it, a tax, a tariff, or fucking whatever sort of agreement you want to come to with that country, it doesn't matter if that comes out to whatever fucking metric. You have an end goal. This is what I want. Period. You're not going to go in there and say, well, we want this number because we deem this to be cheating. You just that makes sense to say to the public. Sure, yeah, they're fucking us over. It doesn't matter if you're fucking us over. Maybe we're having a completely fair trade agreement, but I know that you need me more than I need you, and I want this. I want a better deal. Period. And I don't think you can afford to lose out because we can outlast you. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the economics enough, but I don't think you go into a negotiation with the country with saying, "Hey, I want X, Y, and Z because you're cheating." It's you just don't. It doesn't matter why you want X, Y, and Z.
But that's not his message to those countries. That's his message to the Americans.
You don't know what his message is to those. You don't know what kind of negotiations they're going on.
Of course I know. This country, you think these countries don't read these documents? You don't think that these countries have hundreds of PhDs working on this right now?
Dude, why would you literally put out there exactly what it is?
Because
you're going to. Why?
Because you have to. You have to be transparent. The American president doesn't get to do whatever he wants. Now, what he wants is he wants his voter base to support him. Now, the Trump voter base is so retarded.
Wait, hold on. Back up. When you say an American president has to be transparent,
yes, of course. Yeah.
So why not? Why do we not have to be transparent that we're going to bomb a certain location tomorrow and be very upfront to the public? Oh, well, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I get it's different, but what do you mean by has to be transparent? If you're going to a negotiation with a country, you don't have to tell the public beforehand.
If you understand that it's different, then why is it that it's confusing you that we can do it here but not there? I mean, that is more about the military thingy, and military is a separate story. We're talking about the federal budget. We're talking about the treasury. We're talking about these things, and that requires more transparency for sure. You have to be transparent when you do this. Now, the thing is, the only way he gets to influence trade is through tariffs, which is why he's doing that. There's no way for the president to influence trade other than through tariffs. So that's what he's doing. Yeah, he cannot influence it. It's not his. That's not up to him. That's Congress.
Okay, so when the North American trade agreement, any sort of agreement like that, who actually does create that agreement? Is it still Congress technically? They have to. How does that work?
Nah.
I have no idea.
I don't know details. I don't know if you need them to accept it or not, but I know that he negotiates it. Whether like you need them to accept it or not, I'm not aware. All I know is that because it's been a while since I looked into these things. All I know is that
Isn't that exactly what we're talking about?
no, because that's not about the trade. This is not a trade agreement like NAFTA. This is more. NAFTA is a free trade agreement. So this is with countries, with specific countries. This is not an agreement with countries. This is changing how the U.S. deals with the entire world. There's a huge difference. Now the only thing the president can do when it comes to trade is tariffs, as far as I know. So that is why he's doing tariffs. Now he doesn't need to go through Congress to do this. He can do it on his own. Now, but for him to do it, he needs support of the people, so-called and whatever. So how does he do that? So what I'm trying to tell you is, everything he is saying is to sell it to you, the American. He's not selling it.
Yeah, no, dude, I get that.
He's not selling it to you think that the Chinese know exactly what he's doing. He wants the trade surplus. That's why his tariffs are, which you guys don't read because you're all conservatives who don't know basic math.
Right.
But
So we're not even disagreeing. The whole thing started with that, like, yeah, he's selling this to his base, but like that's not exactly what's going on at all. As far as what he's doing, it's just a way to sell.
I know, but his base will never find out because they will never read the paper.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, but when he deals with
This is
foreigners,
different. Yeah.
when he deals with foreigners, that includes the Canadians, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Indians, etc., is a totally different talking point. He's not telling them about you're robbing us, whatever. He's simply telling you we want a trade deficit. We don't want. So, for example. We don't want a trade deficit. We want a trade surplus. For example, when he's telling you, like about Canada, okay? He's telling you what? He's telling you that we subsidize Canada to the tune of $200 billion. Like literally, everyone keeps quoting it, not even paraphrasing it. If you didn't notice, people quote that. They even use the same wording, such as to the tune of $200 billion.
I haven't followed the fucking. I haven't kept up with Trump.
Oh, fine, I get that. But what I'm telling you is all sources. All sources, both American and non-American, Canadian in other words, they both repeat the same phrase, not even a different wording. They say to the tune of $200 billion. Because that's like Abdullah Simpson. This is like memorizing things. So it's something that's parroted, but in reality, the U.S. isn't really subsidizing Canada. The U.S. has a trade deficit with us. To his mind, a trade deficit is a subsidy, but it's not. You're not giving Canada that money because you're giving it.
Yeah, but I can see that. But it's
no, it's not true. If you remove oil from trade,
I'm just saying, if you think you can get a better deal and there's no reason why you're not getting a better deal, it's charity.
I get that. No, I'm not so sure that's the case because the Americans have a trade surplus with us, except when it comes to oil. Because of oil, you end up having a deficit. To remove oil from the equation, you have a surplus with us. So then it boils down to oil. With Canada, it boils down to oil. Now, this is not a subsidy. This is simply you. But if you go look at the pipelines, they come from Alberta. All of them come from Alberta. So like that's Alberta gas, and that does come into the U.S. and you buy that. Okay, if you stop buying it, then. If you stop buying that, then you're no longer going to have a trade deficit with us. So the best thing Trump can do is no longer buy Canadian gas and oil. Now that will fuck Canadians over because Americans are the biggest purchasers of our energy, right? So, okay. So, but we don't even need to do this whole tariff situation. You can just simply not buy our gas. And then you end up with a surplus.
Well, yeah. So I guess that would be because it's like, well, you can't really negotiate for like I guess what you'd say, hey, I want a better price on the oil. So well, it doesn't really work that way. Right? Because it's like, okay, well, what's the price of the fucking oil in the market? And if you just want us to sell your oil,
Americans Canadians already get a very good price from Canadians. Like we sell the oil at a much cheaper price to the Americans.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. Is what's his actual fucking end goal there in that situation? Then, like,
with Canada,
what would you be negotiating for? Because if it's simply like, if we're okay, let's pretend that, or maybe it's true that he is retarded. Then like, what would your end?
Not retarded. Trump is not retarded.
No, I don't think he's fucking. No, I know. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, what is his actual? What are you saying that he wants from Canada there? Because okay, if it's
he wants a 50% state, obviously.
But you think he's really trying to do that?
Yeah. It's that stuff. Anyways.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Of course he wants it. Canada with all its resources and all of that stuff, with its very highly educated population, with all no. I think the U.S. would really be interested in taking over Canada. For sure.
I don't know why. Like, I don't really understand. Or I guess because it's tied to fucking what the monarchy or whatever. But yeah, there's like, why wouldn't you want all of it? It's literally full of just resources. Forget the people.
That's a separate story. Well, why Canadians wouldn't want to join? That's a totally separate story. But
no, not why wouldn't they want to join? I'm saying like. Basically, yeah. Why wouldn't the U.S. just simply I want this mine, I take it, me now. You get what I'm saying? It's like, but how does that actually work? Like, how do you say? Like, there's no reason why shouldn't we fuck people? You don't get to ask the public when you're gonna take over a country. You're not just like,
because international law is the thing, dude.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, how would you actually take Canada? Like, let's say he wants it, he plans on getting it. Like, you
put them in a situation where they have no option but to take your deal. But you cannot just go in and just take it. That goes against international law.
Well, but that's no. I'm asking, like, what do you mean take your deal? Like, how do you just literally add them? Like, you're just part of us now. You're the 50, like the 51st state.
That's what I'm telling you. You need to make them accept it. You cannot just go there and take it. You're gonna have to make them accept it.
I know, and I'm literally just like, it's that simple. You can just say, "Hey, you agree?"
Yeah.
And they say, "Agree." Really?
Canadian provinces have the right to separate from the Canadian Confederation.
Oh, so you think he just wants Ottawa or whatever? Not Ottawa, the one with the oil. Alberta.
No, I think he wants the whole thing. It makes sense. I think he needs to focus on Greenland first. After he takes Greenland, then basically Canada is surrounded by the U.S. To the west you have Alaska, to the south you have the U.S., to the east you have Greenland. That's it.
Let me ask you something. Do you think he legitimately, like, has an idea of, like, or at least, like, thinks it's a possibility, and if the situation's right to, like,
yes,
they should know it. Like, hold on. I guess, I don't know. You could amend it in Congress, but to have a third term, you think he's for real about that?
No. But I think he can take over Greenland.
So you think the whole, look, I guess if it worked out, it'd be the perfect thing for his legacy. But it could also, like, fuck the whole legacy up if he's literally, the whole plan is like, I'm going into this massive, like, this is the end goal. 4 years from now, this is how I'm going to get Greenland, Canada, all of this.
He actually wants to do that. I don't know how else to say it. He wants the whole thing. He wants to take it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He wants to take it. And it makes perfect sense.
It's badass as fuck. It's like... I've never really thought about the reason,
Well,
why...
the reason why he keeps mentioning the fact that Canada doesn't pay much for military. And he keeps saying the Canadians pay everyone, and the Canadians expect us to defend them. Now after he takes Greenland, then we are surrounded by the U.S. Of course, nothing will happen to us. We have no incentive to pay for military. Hence now he's already telling you, oh, you guys don't do that. I think Trump is hoping to get Canada in line even before Greenland. I do believe that. And I think that's why he's telling you you're not even paying for military. Because he knows when he takes Greenland, we really will not be paying for military. Why would we? No, you can't get to us unless you get to the US.
I get it. I understand.
Exactly. And that is why he's telling you these things. So yeah, you bet your ass. I know exactly what's happening in the negotiations. So it doesn't take a genius. It's just the conservatives who don't understand these things. That's why schooling is very important. Most of this.
Hold on, but like, the way I don't see why the left, why wouldn't you just play like America? Like, who loses in that scenario if that happens? Like, I mean, how does Canada lose? I don't see how they lose. Like, who loses in a scenario where we take Greenland and Canada?
Canadians don't lose. The Canadian elite loses.
Okay, but I'm saying the American left, like the left, our left, like why not? Why wouldn't they play along? Like, it's like we literally, like we win.
When it comes to it, they would want it. They don't want it because it's not them doing it. When it comes to it, they will do it.
Yeah, why haven't they done it before? That's what I'm saying. Like, why haven't we actually done that?
There's a million reasons. There's also the fact that Canada wasn't super weak back then. Now Canada's super weak. Like, it's not easy for you to put us in a situation where we have no other option. Now there's an opportunity to do it. Trump is doing it. It's that simple. Now the Canadians don't exist. Just like Americans don't exist. No one cares what you think. No, not one person cares what you think. It's the elites, and they're the ones running the whole thing, and what benefits them, we go with. What doesn't benefit them, we don't go with. So over here, yeah, people have nothing to lose once you really think about it. We have nothing to lose. But you have the people who are in control, they have everything to lose. What about the crowns? Like, you have to keep in mind, the Canadian Prime Minister, his loyalty isn't to the people of Canada. Loyalty is to the crown.
I know. That's what like I was kind of asking earlier is, I guess, is like, yeah, what would that actually take?
I'm telling you what it is. Every leader, we don't have a two-party system. We have two parties which are big, but we don't have a two-party system. We have something called it's not proportional representation either, but we have like multiple.
I don't care about that. I'm saying like Trump is effectively he's going against the crown then in this case. If you're going to make them, if you're forcing them to,
yeah, of course, it's going against the crown. Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Who are you really negotiating with?
With Canada. In the sense, so what's happening is every single political party in Canada has a leader. Every single leader, for him to be named leader, he has to pledge allegiance to the crown. In other words, you will not give anyone who is politically motivated. There's no one who is in politics who would tell you let's join the US. Their loyalty is to the crown.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will simply never see that. You will simply never see that. Now, those who have the influence, aka are already loyal to the king, those are doing psyops to convince the local populace that whatever is happening, they need to stay with the Canadian elite. For example, look, the Americans come, you're going to lose your public health care. Look at the Americans, they die on the streets. Like, we all know Americans aren't dying on the streets. Right.
Well, no, they are, but not because it's public health care. It's drug addiction.
Well, that's what a lot of Canadians think, though. A lot of Canadians actually believe, like, this is the primary reason why Canadians don't believe this.
Do you really, like, the Americans believe that, like, people die of hunger in the United States, basically, which is not true. Like,
yeah, it's the same people who are the same little mentality. What I'm trying to tell you is, I don't care about America. I'm telling you, in Canada, the major reason why people won't join the US is because of public health care. Because we are Yes.
Oh, it's amazing.
We have people who never used the healthcare system.
I get it.
So it is shit.
The public's so dumb.
Only those who use it. Only those who use the Canadian system, the healthcare system, these are the only people who know that it's shipwreck. All the youth, all the other people who are healthy, they have no clue. They don't know that it's shipwreck. They don't know how bad it is. Like, I know how bad it is because I've been through the mud with the shitty healthcare system. You know, I don't know if I told you, but I had a situation. I had a very simple situation, actually. A very simple situation that took them 4 years to identify and cure.
What? No, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, and it's a very simple situation. It could have been fixed in Jordan.
You can tell me later or something.
Yeah, I can tell you, not a problem. But it could have been fixed in less than 2 weeks in Jordan. Less than 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Right, it took me 4 years. Okay, so people who have not engaged with the system don't know how shipwrecked it is. So that's a large share of the population. Now, those who are using it, some of them are benefiting from it. These are the really fucked up. Like the people who are not just cancer patients, but let's say you have cancer, you have a million things. These people would support it because otherwise they'll have to spend money, and you know, in our situation, Canadians don't make money, dude. They don't make money. Everything you make, you spend. Hey, there's no one saving money, right? So then, the general sentiment is, if I need healthcare, they don't understand that my life will change. They think everything will stay exactly the same, except that I will be paying for healthcare. They don't understand that I will be making much more money and I will be saving. I will have money on the side. In case I need treatment, I will be able to spend on it. That's not how they think. Because that's not the reality they live in.
Yeah, well, I mean, our healthcare system is a lot more complicated. Like, people don't understand our healthcare system. And I worked in it, like, on the insurance side. Like, we don't understand it here either. Like, it's not actually that, like, yes, there's nobody dying on it, but it's not actually really that simple. Like, it's very complicated. Especially, it's much better.
Yes, but it's much better than ours. So
our healthcare is good. It bleeds money. Like it doesn't work. It costs the people we're fucked. Our Medicare has to, like, dude, Medicare and Social Security, like they've got to go. They literally need to be. I don't know how you fix Medicare. I don't know how you fix that. And that's what I was, like, licensed in. That's what I know the most. Like, you bet it. It needs to be replaced with something. Or phase it out at the very least.
It doesn't have to be replaced with anything. What you have to do is, well, I mean, again, I'm not talking about your healthcare system. It's different. It is shit, but it's still much better. The only reason I mentioned this is because Canadians don't want to join the US for that reason.
Yeah.
If Canadians no longer believe that Americans are dying,
do you know that Americans are envious of Canadians? Like, we have, dude, the public's retarded. Like, there are Americans that like the idea of this healthcare system. Like, they want it. They literally want it. It's so retarded. They don't understand it. Yeah, they don't. They're shit up the fucking system. Stuff like this, bro. Stuff like this, and like I'm not. Fuck it, I'm for it. I almost think, like, dude, the elites should stay in power. No, what I'm saying, it's like the elites. This to me is, like, literally a reason why. Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be anti-elite. Just don't be as anti-fucking. Like, still try to benefit, I guess, yeah. But I would be the retard in this case. I'm not benefiting from it.
Dude, I don't know about all these things. I'm just... I'm here with healthcare. The only reason I'm mentioning it again is related back to the US. And why the Americans are trying to take over Canada. And why the Democrats would definitely want that. Because they're going to steer your vote anyway. In a way that they like. They're not going to say no.
Oh, they were getting so...